Diana's story feels like something out of a movie, doesn't it? A young woman marries into royalty, facing a world where every smile and every tear is under the microscope. But what happens when the fairy tale starts to crack? Imagine having the queen herself as your mother-in-law, with the whole world watching your every move. How did Diana navigate this royal maze, and what secrets lay behind those palace walls? Let's find out what really went down between Diana and the queen. Early life and royal entry. Think about Diana, just a regular girl with noble roots, stepping into a whirlwind romance with Prince Charles. Sounds like a dream, right? But even in fairy tales, there's always a twist. Picture her, young and in love, suddenly thrust onto the world stage. It wasn't just about glamorous balls and waving from balconies. It was about fitting into a role that came with a hefty rulebook. How do you stick to your true self when you're wearing a crown that wasn't made for you? Diana's journey from a shy teenager to a princess captured hearts, but behind the tiara, was it everything she hoped for? The fairy tale unravels. Now, let's get real about fairy tales. They're not all sunshine and rainbows. Diana's marriage to Charles had the world swooning, but behind closed doors, it was a different story. Imagine having your every move, every mistake, on display and add some royal pressure to the mix. Diana was trying to carve out her own path, but with the world watching and the royal expectations weighing her down, the cracks began to show. How did she manage to smile for the cameras when her fairy tale started to crumble? Diana's modern approach versus royal tradition. Diana was a breath of fresh air in the stuffy rooms of the palace, wasn't she? She had this way of connecting with people that was just different. But here's the kicker: not everyone was a fan, especially when different meant shaking up centuries-old traditions. Diana wasn't about just cutting ribbons. She got down in the trenches, showing love and compassion where it was needed most. But how does that fly in a world where protocol trumps passion? It's like trying to dance to your own tune when the orchestra won't play along. How did Diana manage to keep her spirit alive in the face of all that resistance? The royal rift. Diana and the Queen. Imagine having the Queen of England as your grandmother-in-law. Sounds intimidating, right? Now, throw in the mix Diana's charm and her knack for bending royal rules. She was like a breath of fresh air, but not everyone at Buckingham Palace was ready for change. Picture the Queen, with her duty-first mindset, watching Diana rewrite the royal rulebook. It's like mixing oil and water. Did they find common ground, or did this tension only add to the palace intrigues? It's a classic tale of old versus new, but with the stakes higher than ever, played out under the watchful eyes of the entire world. Media's news and victim. Diana knew how to work a room, and the camera absolutely loved her. But there's a dark side to all that attention. Imagine every moment of your life being captured, every mistake magnified. For Diana, the media was a double-edged sword, offering a platform to highlight important issues, but at a personal cost. How did she navigate this relentless media circus, and what toll did it take on her personal life and her relationship with the royal family? It's a story of triumph and tragedy, showing us the real price of fame. Conspiracies and tragic end. The world stopped when news broke of Diana's tragic accident. It was a story that seemed too shocking to be true, sparking a myriad of conspiracy theories. Was it just a tragic accident, or was there more to the story? The rumors swirled like a storm, each more sensational than the last. How did the royal family react, and how did this tragedy change the monarchy? Diana's death left a void that went beyond the royal family, touching hearts around the globe and leaving us with more questions than answers. It's a chapter that closes on a note of sorrow, but opens a conversation about the legacy she left behind. Diana's journey, with its highs and lows, its triumphs and tragedies, reminds us of the power of resilience and the human spirit. From a shy young girl to a global icon, her legacy continues to inspire. But her story also prompts us to question, how do we treat those thrust into the unforgiving spotlight? As we reflect on Diana's life, let's not forget the lessons she taught us about compassion, empathy, and the courage to be oneself. If Diana's story moved you, sparked a thought, or stirred a memory, don't keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts, spread the word, and let's keep the conversation going. Comment, share, and subscribe to delve deeper into stories that make us who we are.